Welcome to Vacation Station, hosted by Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazines.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Big Blend Radio's second Tuesday Vacation Station Food, Wine, and Travel show with the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. That's a long word. But anyway, you can go to their website, ifwtwa.org. Every second Tuesday, we chat with destinations that are members. Every second Friday, we chat with travel writers about the destinations they've been to. And now every third Friday, we have a panel discussion with writers. So we're doing a lot in regards to food, wine, and travel with IFTWA. So it's super exciting. And today we're going back to Medford, which is in the heart of the Rogue Valley in Southern Oregon. Beautiful region. Nancy and I were up there just briefly last year. And hopefully this year we'll get back again because it is gorgeous. It is home to Crater Lake National Park. After all these conversations we've had with TJ and Ashley over from Travel Medford, we finally got to Crater Lake and it was absolutely spectacular. So everyone go to travelmedford.org. We're excited to have TJ and Ashley back. Welcome, Ashley. How are you? Welcome back.
So good. I'm so good. Thank you so much for having us.
It's always good. And welcome back, TJ. How are you?
Doing great. I'm happy to be here. Always love talking Medford and the Rogue Valley. So this is a great opportunity and love being on your show, Lisa.
Oh, thank you. And hey, listen, I know there's a lot of sports going on, but I'm sorry, we're going to wine first because you know what? It's almost wine o'clock where we are. So it's we're recording this on a Friday, it's noon. And as far as I'm concerned, that's it. Bring the wine. You guys have exquisite wines. Oregon is known for wine. But Ashley, am I right that I saw like Rogue Valley win all kinds of awards recently? I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, where is she now and what's she doing? But there's a lot going on with wine.
Yeah, we were just nominated for top 5 global wine region in the world.
Wow.
Obviously from Wine Enthusiast magazine, which is a great honor for our region to be in the top 5 ranks with Abruzzo, Italy, and Argentina, Slow Coast, California, and a few others. So it was a huge honor just to be nominated. We were just down for the awards ceremony in San Francisco with Wine Enthusiasts, and we were so happy to see Abruzzo, Italy receive the top honor, but to be present with them in that top 5 is huge for our valley. We've come so far in the last 20 years, specifically in the wine industry. However, fun fact, the wine industry of Oregon actually did start in the Rogue Valley. The first vineyard was planted in the Rogue Valley in Oregon, and the first licensed winery was in the Rogue Valley in the early 1900s. And that winery,
you guys went rogue in the wine world and said,
we
hey,
went rogue. Yeah, we're still going rogue. And that winery is actually still in operation. Valley View is the very first winery in production in Oregon, and it is here in the Rogue Valley still, and you can go taste right now today.
Oh, I love it. So, when we talk about Oregon, I know a lot of people automatically think Pinot Noir. So let's talk about the kind of wines you have in Rogue Valley and how many wineries can we go to, or is it mostly wine bars? What's the experience like for all of us?
Yeah, there's a huge spectrum of experience right now, which is great. We have wine bars, we have tasting rooms. There is about 60 tasting rooms dotting the hills of our valley. Of course, wow. Our valley's not very big. We're 60 miles wide by 70 miles long. So with Medford being the center of the Rogue, everything's about 20 minutes away, which is great. And of course, anchored by Crater Lake to the north and Ashland to the south, just to give everyone perspective. And so we have about 60 tasting rooms and or wineries and or wine bars that you can visit dotting the hills of the valley. But there are about 100 wine labels, meaning some wineries don't have tasting rooms, right? And they just sell direct to wholesale. But we also have one of the things that sets us apart that really stood out to wine enthusiasts is the diversity of our varieties that we have here in the valley. So we are successfully growing over 70 varieties of wine within our essentially 70-mile radius.
It's like every mile there's a new varietal.
Yeah, actually, that's totally correct. Because of our valley and the confluence of the rivers and our mountain rain shadow effect that we have from the ocean, we are really fortunate to have a plethora of microclimates within our small valley, which is really what allows us to grow so many different options in the wine world. And the other piece is that we have the largest diurnal temperature swing in the world. And so that really is the kind of the crown to what makes this work. And for anyone who doesn't know what diurnal temperature swing means, it just means the difference between the temperature and from day to night.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's neat because, going up through that area, if you go from the coastal area of Northern California, you're kind of hitting the Redwood region, and then you go up through your area and it changes. And you almost can have like a dry climate too.
Oh yeah, we're sunny and warm. A lot of people think of Oregon as kind of rainy, like our neighbors to the north. The northern part of Oregon definitely gets a fair share of rain. We have over 200 days of sun, but we have enough rain for a lot of our vineyards to dry farm, which is awesome.
That's nice.
And also another component to, kind of the essence of our land stewardship here in Southern Oregon. We're very passionate about taking care of our vineyards and our farms for the future and for the present. So another nomination Wine Enthusiast had was Troon Vineyard. So I don't know if you saw that, but they were nominated for best winery in the world right here in the Rogue Valley. And they're located in the Applegate, which is a subset of the Rogue. But they're only one of 2 vineyards in the world that is certified regenerative, which is huge. But just kind of gives a quick picture into, what the passion and lanes are here in the valley in terms of farming.
Go back to regenerative so that we can understand that, because we hear that in tourism talk.
Yeah, I know.
We don't hear that often in wine. Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah, and it is a good word. I know I've been noticing it in tourism a lot too. And it's great. Really, regenerative is that next step. You hear a lot about sustainability, then you hear a lot about organic, right? Regenerative is that next step. It's not just about making your farming practices sustainable, and then which means not harming the earth. And then organic essentially is meaning that you're not using any pesticides or chemicals. Regenerative takes both of those things and adds on a third layer of not only making it so that you're not harming the earth and you're not adding chemicals, but you're actually giving back to the earth. So you're actually creating a better situation than what you started with for the future of that land and whatever community is farming it.
Do you have biodynamic wineries?
Yes. Yep. We also have biodynamic.
Wow.
And I would venture to say probably at least 90% of the vineyards here are practicing some level of sustainability, organic, biodynamic, or regenerative, whether they're certified or not. And the certifications, really the roadblock there is usually financial, right? So a lot of these farmers are doing all of the things they need to do, but they're just not certified. And usually the farmers don't care usually.
Well, I want to just say that this is airing on Valentine's Day, so talking wine is really good. But I want to just, I know TJ, we're getting to you because you're going to talk sports, but I want to talk about wine and food, and then we can go work it off with you. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm really never going to work it off. No, but let's talk about wine, because as I recall, getting like cheese and chocolate to go with the wine and a good meal in the Rogue Valley and in Medford is not a very hard thing to do.
It's not at all. No, we are known for our farm to fork cuisine, if you will. I've kind of started calling it Cascade cuisine because it really is just kind of the way of the West in a way. We're very locally sourced food scene, right? We have a plethora of restaurants, eateries, food trucks. But furthermore, we have actual producers here in the Valley, like the Rogue Creamery, where we've received best cheese in the world twice now. What is
this? Every time I bring something up, well, we won this award. Like, what's going on?
It's crazy, right? I mean, for them to get it again, everyone was like, "Whoa, this is wild."
That's awesome.
And then, of course, we're home to Harry and David, which is a worldwide brand, and they span the shopping list, if you will. But we're the first to produce Commies pears outside of France, so that was kind of their claim to fame in the early 1900s. But now they have orchards and vineyards and lots of different farms around the valley where they source all their fruit and produce from.
Cool.
We also have recently nominated, I believe there's been 2 nominations of chefs for best chef in the nation, I think it is, that they're going up for. One
So you know you're
is,
going to win something.
I'm
I just-
hoping so. It'll be really exciting. And Medford actually just got a new restaurant called Decant, which is a 4-star restaurant run by a Michelin family and absolutely superb. So if you're in town, you got to go there next because it's really good.
And if you didn't get your significant other anything for Valentine's Day, Harry and David is a good idea.
Yeah, they
I'm
send
just saying.
the greatest gift baskets with,
Yeah.
you can customize
I'm
it.
sorry I'm late. And Mother's Day, Father's Day, doesn't
Oh
matter
yeah,
for any day.
all the any day, honestly. And
And
the
we
same
don't we
with,
don't need Valentine's Day to be like
No.
thoughtful
I
or
want
have good food.
wine and chocolate every day.
I'm
So-
I'm 100% with you. That
And
means
cheese.
and cheese is good. Cheese is
Yeah.
good, but
And I noticed that
that's-
Rogue Creamery is doing boxes right now too. So you can actually send the world's best cheese across the nation to your loved ones if you want.
I like this. I like this. So TJ, Crater Lake, we went to Crater Lake. It was still really cold. It was in June. We went from the Sun River side there and did all these like Klamath Falls area. And I'm like, but you guys are right here. You're right there, on the map. But I couldn't believe like you still had snow in June out there. And then I'm going, okay, but people do go out and hike down in the water area. So can you kayak in there? I know you have rivers and things, right, for people to kayak. So would you go in the lake itself? Because isn't it deep?
It's actually the deepest lake in the country.
I'm not kayaking in it then, because it's going to happen. I'm going down. It's all that chocolate and cheese.
Yeah, you'll think with all that chocolate, cheese, and wine that you're going to be drinking from our valley. No, but Crater Lake, it's the only national park, in the state of Oregon, and that anchors our valley to the north. So that's one of our claim to fame. Medford is the gateway to Crater Lake, up there, and it's a fantastic place to go any time of year, really. But yeah, there's a little hangover of some snow early in the summer, but that really gives it that special blue color that can't be duplicated anywhere else in the world.
Literally,
believe it.
They made a crayon after that color.
Did they really?
Crayola made a Crater Lake color because it's the only place in the world that color exists.
Well, I think Toyota better do a Crater Lake car then, because we got Tacoma,
Oh,
we got
that's a good
Sequoia.
idea.
I'm just saying.
Okay, or Subaru. And to answer your question
Ooh,
really
yeah.
quick, there is one access to the lake that you can hike down, and you can swim in the lake if you brave the cold of the water, because it is very cold. But you can't, to protect the lake and the species in it, you can't put any boats or rafts or floaties or anything like that in it.
Okay.
They have one boat that's certified that you can take to Wizard Island, and it's the national park runs it.
Yeah, that island's cool. I was just like, I want to go there. I could put my house there.
Yeah,
That's my dream house. I've seen you guys with all these photos of kayaking and hiking and waterfalls. So TJ, and before we get to the actual athletic sports for all of us outdoor people, give us kind of an overview of what we can do in regards to that, because doesn't that kind of start for you in spring, or is it year round?
We have year-round outdoor recreation. I mean, we actually talked a lot about wine, but our agritourism and wine is just as important as our outdoor recreation. But they go really hand in hand, because you can enjoy the outdoors and enjoy doing some activities earlier in the day, and then kind of end the day with that wine and cheese and chocolates and some of those specialty items like we talked about too. So outdoor recreation. I mean, hiking is so big here. We have hundreds of miles of trails. We have a lot of different parks to enjoy. You talked about getting into sports as well, but our sports world kind of goes for that traditional athletics, like we'll probably talk about later, but also the non-traditional, such as hiking and running and kayaking, and we're to really enjoy that. We have a great river in the Rogue River. That's a section of that is one of the greatest whitewater areas, and is being considered for the 2028 Summer Olympic Games for the Whitewater Center, just to the north of us in Gold Hill. So if you talk about outdoor recreation, what we have here, it really is endless. I mean, we have all possibilities that you can imagine for outdoor recreation. You can enjoy right here in Medford and the Rogue Valley.
When you talk about the whitewater rafting and I know like California and a lot of the West, in fact, everywhere we have been, that's why, excuse me for my cough. I've gone through every kind of weather you can imagine. And, I need to come dry out in your land. But I was
Mhm.
wondering if, during the winter, did you get all of that rain? And are you going to get a bigger whitewater rafting season this year, or is it normal as usual?
I think we're about that normal usual level for right now. I think that because the river does flow from all the way up, I believe from Crater Lake, that we'll get that snow melt and we'll get everything coming down as we usually do. But whitewater rafting, there's a lot of different guides along that river that you can choose from. And a lot of different levels of expertise, but also on the Rogue River, we have our Rogue jet boats, and they take you right on the Rogue River, and it's an educational tour. They'll spin you around in some 360s, right?
Oh, cool.
Right at the base of our famed Table Rocks, our Table Rock plateaus that we have, and that goes right there from Tuville State Park.
Unprecedented views of Table Rock on that tour.
Yeah,
Okay.
unprecedented, and educational tours too. They don't only talk about what's going on, but also the land. And we're trying to be stewards of our resources and our land here to
nice.
be really, really strong in that regenerative tourism and making sure that we're just smart in that ecosystem. So by them sharing a lot of the educational aspects on the tours, a lot of people that go on, their visitors, even residents too, can learn a lot about their own backyard and what they're experiencing and what they're seeing as far as animal life and plant life and everything else going down there as well.
So
And
that means
you get to run by a couple famous people's houses too, and they point those out.
tell me. I want the scandal. Come on, tell me who.
Well, one main one that most everyone knows is Jim Belushi's right there on the river. So you run by his house, and he's usually outside, and he'll wave, and there's quite a few others that have.
Well, hey, the Belushis used to be in my backyard in Julie and San Diego up in the mountains too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they used to come up and yeah. I'm like, that was some nice history. We had fun up in the mountains, but when you think about all of this outdoor recreation and then the sports side, which we're going to get to, are you more of a family destination? It seems like you've got a little bit for everyone, like the foodies and the people wanting to come for wine, the outdoors, but for families, it's got to be quite a good spot.
Yeah, I'd like to say we're a destination for everyone. We're a playground for all personalities. Is what we have here. So families, absolutely, and we'll get into sports later, but outdoor recreation with our mountain biking trails and our hiking trails, for all ages and skill levels. And then same thing with the zip, we have our Rogue Valley zip line in Gold Hill just right next to Medford, and you have all ages going down there at the zip line as well. And Rogue Jet Boats is a great family friendly environment. Even in the summer, they hold summer concert series where they have a floating stage out at Discovery Park, which is the park that they take you to as like a midpoint stop for the day, along with their tour. So they have bands playing out there as a summer concert series, and there's kayaks and stuff to rent and paddle boats and music playing. There's a playground out there. So it really is for all ages when you get to go out there at Discovery Park as part of that Rogue Jet Boat tour. So like I said, zip line, jet boats, a lot of different activities. Even if you don't take a tour and go down that road, a lot of different, we have our Greenway, which is, going alongside Bear Creek, and that connects all of our communities in the Rogue Valley. And, our Rogue Marathon, which is the Boston Qualifier Marathon, runs alongside that Greenway. And it can be a beautiful in the spring and the summer too, and to be along that pathway. And so you really can find anything that you want to do for outdoor recreation, you can find pretty much year round, except for you can't do much snow in the summer, but you can pretty much find those activities at any point in Medford.
I don't think any of us want any more snow. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, and I also want to thread back to the wine, because you know me. But it is a unique standing out point for the region that we are a family-friendly wine region, and that's not totally normal, right? We have all of our wineries, the majority of our wineries are very family-friendly to the point of they have accommodating items for children. They have playgrounds, they have playhouses, etc.
Wow.
Opens the door a bit, right, to the wine weekend, where it doesn't have to just be a couple's weekend or a girls' weekend. It can be a family trip, and you can go and enjoy those tasting rooms and bring your kids, and that's totally fine. And then I always do like to mention that we do also have the largest children's museum in Oregon, in downtown Medford.
Wow, that is really cool. So it's got to be quality of life to live there. All these
Oh,
things that for us visitors, but it starts with the community itself enjoying all of these resources.
absolutely. Yeah. And TJ can touch on that too, but that's something I'm super passionate about. You know, I've had the privilege of living all over the world, and I wouldn't want to live anywhere but here. And I think that, you know, making sure that we're growing in tandem with our community and the way that our community wants to grow is really, really critical. And the other piece to that is I truly believe that when you visit somewhere, that's when you're able to fall in love with something, when you experience it. And when you fall in love with something, you respect it, right? And then when you respect something, you'll protect it. And that's kind of the life cycle that we like to promote. And a lot of times that ends up with people moving here. They
That's cool.
started visiting and then they want to live here. So,
Mm.
and welcome everyone.
Yeah, how big are you, like in regards to number of people? And I mean, I understand the 70 miles, but what do you think?
There's-
Like,
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Medford's about, I think we're in the 85 to 90,000 range for population within
oh,
proper, but the whole Rogue Valley is anywhere from about 250 to 280,000 people. So all of our surrounding communities in that region, like Ashley pointed out, for that section. So we're, you know, Medford proper is right in the heart of the Rogue Valley, which is why we're called Heart of the Rogue. And we're about 85 to 90, and then the whole metro area is about 250 to 280, give or take.
wow. That's nice though. That's a nice balance, you know,
It's
and like I
great.
said, going back to
And
that
if
quality
you
of
hate
life.
traffic, we're your place, because
I'm coming. I'm coming.
you know that
I'm coming.
if
back.
I have to wait longer than like 3 seconds, I'm like, what is happening?
And that's
Oh
just
my
more
gosh.
time. And that's just more time to go enjoy all the outdoor recreation and wine and everything else that here, instead of sitting in traffic waiting to get there. So that's
No.
a specialty that we have.
So let's talk about sports, because I see behind you. For those of you listening, go to go to the website, because then you can see everything we're talking about, and that is travelmedford.org. But you've got this big stadium. What's going on? Is it baseball, football, soccer? What's happening?
Yeah, so what you see behind me is a confluence of a bunch of fields. You know, for baseball, softball, soccer, football, but that's our Lithia and driveway fields. It's a 15 field park that's you know, a lot of turf fields, lighted fields that we were able to hold a lot of you know, tournaments and a lot of games. Pretty much every weekend is booked out there, and it's been
Wow, because I remember this is pretty new.
2008.
This is
Yeah,
pretty
well,
new.
yeah, and it's been around, and the city does a great job of keeping it up and making sure it is a state-of-the-art park and facility. It's one of our key attractions in sports tourism, and sports tourism is so big for us, you know, because we're located right between, you know, Seattle and San Francisco, and you know, on I-5, and we have the international airport here from Medford, so it's really easy to get here. So a lot of people come here, but sports tourism is so key for us, and we have the venues like the one behind me that I'm talking about, that because we have such a diverse amount of venues, from traditional sports like baseball, soccer, football, and softball, to the non-traditional sports like we talked about with the hiking trails and the biking trails and the whitewater rafting, that we really trying to capitalize on this. And we actually went through a sports branding process, as you can see behind me, your sport ground in the corner. We actually created a word as like a playground and a sports playground to call ourselves your sport ground, where the West Coast plays, because we just needed to have an identity to give ourselves in that sports and recreation realm. And because of our diverse amount of venues, just like I said, from traditional and non-traditional sports, you really can choose any sport that you want to play, even if it's archery, even if it's paragliding, you know, hang gliding. We have one of the world's best mountains for that in Wood Rat Mountain, just a few miles away. So, you know, that you go all the way
Nationals
from
were
there.
just there, right? The paragliding nationals were just held there.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What about foot golf and disc golf and all of that? Because I know like golf courses have changed up. Do you have that too?
Yep, we definitely have that. And we actually have a brand new $65 million facility being built right now that's going to be open to the public in December, called Rogue X, or Rogue Credit Union Community Complex. And that's going to have 8 full-size indoor basketball courts that can be used for pickleball and volleyball and trade shows. And then there's also 3 swimming pools, including an Olympic-sized
Wow.
13-lane pool for swimming, competitive swimming events, water polo, and then also a recreational pool and a splash pad, seasonal splash pad for kids outside. That, you know, just that indoor space alone is something that we were missing. And the city and a lot of different organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce and Travel Medford and a lot of other different organizations really came together for that collaboration to make that project come to fruition. And but that one open space of those 8 full-size basketball courts is 78,000 square feet in one room. Obviously, it can be partitioned off, you know, by each court, but I was in there last week and it was massive, and they're still constructing it, but it's pretty incredible to see. And that's the one thing that we were missing, was having that indoor space for that winter season and that shoulder season for tourism. As you can see behind me, I have all those outdoor fields, and that's been great for us for the last 15 years since it opened. But that indoor space for us is going to be so key in attracting some other sports and some new families that might not have come here for the outdoor sports.
That 305, yeah.
That's amazing when you think also pickleball. I mean, everybody kind of thought that was, you know, for your grandmas and grandpas, and it seems like pickleball is like taking over the country. It's kind of like the newer thing. I don't know. We finally learned how to play cornhole. That's our new sport. See, that to me, that goes.
They're both huge.
And wine. They go well with wine. I'm just saying, cornhole and wine went well. But you know, also like
speaking of cornhole, you know, and we actually just held our national cornhole tournament here. We hosted last week. This was our first time holding it. It was with the American Cornhole Organization. They held their Oregon major.
No way. They have an association?
Oh yeah, it's big.
I thought this was just a wine and throw.
Oh
like
no.
They've been around since 2005, and this is the first time they've held one of their major events in Oregon ever. So we actually held them in Medford last weekend, and they had almost 150 participants and registrants for this, and from 13 different states here, coming from all over, from, you know, Kentucky, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Georgia, Virginia, Missouri, you know, Idaho, California. So it was pretty neat to see the community get behind it and them feel welcome to come here for that. But we did host the first Oregon major cornhole tournament, and they're actually coming back for the next 2 years at that Rogue X facility that we were talking about to do it a lot bigger. So we have a 3-year contract to try and bring them here, and I think they were pretty happy with how much they felt welcome in our community, because we just have a welcoming atmosphere, and it kind of fits with our vibe of relaxed. You know, relaxed vibe, and let's play some cornhole and have an adult beverage and just have some fun. And that's kind of who we are in our valley, and cornhole just fits with that. But for them to come back and have a great time and know that they're excited to come back and that they're going to bring more people is great. You know, you hear a lot of people that came out a few days early to see Crater Lake. You know, people from Indiana had never been out to Oregon before, and they wanted to go spend a full day at Crater Lake. They came out on Tuesday when the tournament didn't start till Friday to really see everything in the valley, and that's what we like to hear. But they also leave saying we're coming out earlier next year with our full families to make sure that we really get the full experience.
I love that you say that. About
they always say, I had no idea. That's what they always say. I had no idea.
Exactly. You know, because you are different than the rest of the state for sure. And I think the whole state is beautiful personally, but going back to those extra days and new terms, there's a new term I really don't like, bleisure or bleisure, however you want to say it. I don't, you know, I just don't like it. That's just my own personal thing.
I've never heard it. I've actually
it's
never
about
heard
business and leisure put together, because, or leisure, however, you know, you want to say it. I know, it just sounds, I prefer cornhole.
Yeah.
But it's really about people traveling and then adding on those couple days. So it seems like, excuse me, am I coughing again? That you guys are perfect for that. For people that want to go and hike and then at the same time maybe work remotely, go to a conference. Do you see more of the business expos and things like that coming from these facilities?
Yeah, I think with Rogue X, that's really going to give us the opportunity for that state-of-the-art indoor space to be able to do that. And while we do have the facilities and the venues like we talked about, what's really gives us a great reputation, great reputation, is that there's so much to do while you're not playing. I think that's what really makes the vacation out of it. A lot of the term you just talked about pleasure, but another term is tournications, right? So that's kind of the term.
I like that better.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
a lot of families are combining their vacations with their children's sports tournaments to label the phrase of tournications, and that's what we have, because there's so much downtime between games and tournaments and everything else that fits right with what we have going on, because there's so much to do in the valley for all ages, that you have a variety of things to do within an hour's drive of Medford and the Rogue Valley, that being able to have that opportunity, you really get to experience so much more than just going there for a tournament or a game or just hiking or something else too. You can really see the full spectrum of what our area has to offer.
One thing too that I've noticed as we travel is that mountain biking has become bigger and bigger. Do you have any mountain biking trails, or is it mostly hiking?
The best one's right behind you in your photo.
Oh,
Lisa, that's
cool.
Roxy Peak.
Well, I'm not doing the mountain biking. I'll fall off, but
but that's a great visual that you have behind you. That's Roxy Peak. That's actually a dormant volcano.
Oh, wow.
In the
If
center
you're gonna mountain
of
bike,
town.
do a volcano. Why not?
Right. It is dormant, but kind of a fun fact. But there's over oh gosh, I don't even know the number. It's an immense amount of mountain biking trails and hiking trails that go up that mountain. And then the views from the top are incredible. But there's a ton of other mountain biking. TJ can probably touch on that, but I was just like, oh, I'm looking at one right behind you.
Yeah,
Yay.
Prescott Park, where Roxy Peak, that's the peak behind you, like Ashley was talking about, has a lot there. We have so much land, an outdoor space out here, and wide open spaces and beautiful trees and mountains but we also have Mount Ashland to the south of us, and there's a lot of great mountain biking down at Mount Ashland at the south end of our Rogue Valley. We do have a ski park up there of Mount Ashland, and in the summertime there's opportunities for mountain biking as well in the ski park up there too. So our whole area, you can speak to any type of recreation that you're looking for.
Even fishing?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have to bring that up. I mean, I don't fish either, but other people do, and a lot of our audience definitely goes fishing, and they're always like, just because you fish, that doesn't mean you don't ask those questions. So I'm being good.
Good. Well, people come from all over the nation to fish the Rogue River. And TJ mentioned earlier, the source is Boundary Springs, and it's just to the east of Crater Lake, but it runs 216 miles all the way to the coast, and out into the Pacific. So the opportunities of recreation on the Rogue are immense, and fishing is a huge one. My husband's favorite is there's a tour here called Cast and Blast, and you can actually go fishing and duck hunting at the same time.
So lots going on. I mean, you guys, can I bring up anything and then you'll say, oh no, we don't have that. I don't think we've hit that yet. It's not
Pretty
happening.
much not an outdoor rec, which is what, just underlining TJ's sentiment around your sport ground, and where West Coast plays. And I always like to make that reference of, not only are we the heart of the Rogue, but we are centrally located on the West Coast. We're smack dab in the middle from north to south. So with the I-5 running straight through, and then of course the airport, we're so accessible.
Do you have direct flights from any of the major cities?
Oh yeah, we've got 12 direct flights, with the West Coast being totally covered. So LA, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, but
Denver.
12 total. Yeah.
Denver as well.
Oh, Denver too. Oh, okay. And the other part is lodging. Everybody always wants to know, okay, is there bed and breakfast? Are there vacation rentals? Are there brand hotels? What are we looking at?
Yes.
Yeah, I think our next campaign is there's no, and we don't have the word no in our vocabulary.
Okay, so what about winery stays? I'm trying. I'm going.
Yeah, that's up and coming.
Oh
I
man,
think there's about 7 wineries now that have on-property stays in the Rogue Valley. We also have the first Compass by Margaritaville on the West Coast that just opened in June of last year, I believe it was June
So
or
now
July.
we have margaritas.
We have margaritas. We have margaritas.
Okay.
Restaurant.
Yep, we've
Okay,
got
do
the
you have a
5 o'clock
cocktail
summer
bars?
bar and grill.
Bars that will make us like a really good cocktail.
Yes. Oh my gosh, of course. What did
Well, I'm trying to go for the no.
I'm like, yes,
I need a
queen.
bell.
What did Immortal
bell.
Spirits just get? They got top distillery in the nation, or top 10 distillery in
Oh,
the
you
nation.
have distilleries. What about breweries?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's no no's.
There's no no's, really.
Oh my
The
gosh.
only thing that this valley can't do is citrus. We can't grow citrus, and that's it.
But we don't care because you have wine and you have berries. I know you have berries, right?
Oh, we have berries galore. We're the birthplace of Marionberries. But I always mention that because I'm like a big citrus person, and I'm like, the one thing I can't have is a lemon tree. But that's it.
But
Yeah.
you know what?
Because we have a real winter, and we have snow
Listen.
splits, and we have a mountain.
Delicious mountain huckleberries as well that you can pick while you're hiking
Ooh.
around. And
Oh,
one of my favorite things to do when I go backpacking and be able to pick out those huckleberries and eat them just right on the spot. But to what you're saying about the lodging, with the first Margaritaville, the Compass Hotel by Margaritaville on the West Coast. But we also have bed and breakfast in a historic district, with our Lady Geneva bed
awesome.
and breakfast. And then we've had actually 2 new hotels open up in the last 7 months, and another one going to be opening up in the next year, 15 months or so. So there's a lot of growth, and we've seen a huge increase in short-term vacation rentals with Airbnb and Vrbo as well. That you really can get a good variety of what you're looking for, from large flagship hotels to a lot more smaller and intimate lodging facilities like Lady Geneva bed and breakfast. But so anywhere.
I'm glad you bring up bed and breakfast because they always gotta get left off the conversation. And I think they add such a personal touch to a stay. And it's like a lot of them are historic and they're preserving some history. It's just
and they're so
unique
passionate.
thing.
And like at Lady Geneva, I mean, their chef is incredible. I mean, what they provide you in terms of breakfast is 5-star. I mean, it's incredible. We also have, like TJ was mentioning, independent hotels that are family owned and operated in the
Awesome.
Valley. Rogue Regency has been for a long time been the largest independent hotel and and one of the only full service hotels for a long time. Now we have a couple others, but they are a longtime local family that built that hotel in the 1980s, and they have a comedy club on Friday nights, year-round pool, restaurant, sports bar. They even have like lottery in the back, which is really fun with pool tables. And they have huge I don't know if you can call them jacuzzi suites or hot tub suites. I think you have to call them hot tub suites now. But like they used to build them where they're huge and expansive, and the tubs fit like 8 people, and it's very cool.
Wow. Okay, so there's no in Medford, everybody.
There's no in Medford. That's our next marketing campaign.
There's no in Medford. Just go. Because there's
no, just go.
Just go. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Well, awesome, everybody. Go to travelmedford.org. Again, we're here every second Tuesday with the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association. They do a good, awesome job with all these destinations we get to chat with.
I know.
And, luckily we get to go to a lot of them.
And I want to thank IFTWA for having us, and we love being members of IFTWA. And it's always a pleasure to talk with you, Lisa. And
you guys
can't
too.
wait for you to come back. Because I didn't see you when you came through last time. So next time.
I know, we'll do it. We will. Well, you know what? We have more time this time on our way up. We're kind of road tripping through.
Good.
So we want wine. That's all I'm saying.
Sold.
We want wine and cheese, maybe some chocolate, but but don't put me on. I'll play cornhole, but there's no cycling happening. There's no stand-up paddleboard. I will try kayaking, but I will go in a circle. Just telling you.
I am with you. I will sit sport. I'm a sit sport person.
My sport is raising a glass.
Bike.
Yes, exactly. And as soon as you talked about cocktails, my cough went away. See,
I know
you guys have got it going on.
The other thing, I will be active in sport with axe throwing.
Oh, do you have that too?
We have axe throwing, and that's fun, and it actually is a workout.
I think axe throwing is a mandatory thing if you're frustrated with work, and instead of quitting your job like the big giant walkout of work, go throw some axes and then go have some wine and it'll all be good. So you'll
That's
just have to go
right.
to Medford and then everyone can calm down.
So you let me
Sounds
know
good.
when you're in town next and we're doing wine and axes.
Oh, that's really dangerous. And you got to watch out for Nancy.
Okay,
Nancy
well.
is really one of those people, like you play darts with her, she gets a bullseye. And then her other dart will go in the like little wingy thing of the other dart in the bullseye, and then another one. She'll get like a triple, and like she darts the darts.
That's how I am when
Yeah.
I throw in softball. It's either right
Oh,
on
boy.
or way off.
Yeah, exactly. Has nothing to do with wine. But
Yeah.
anyway, all right. Well, guys, you take care and happy season to you guys. I know spring is coming up. Have a wonderful spring, summer, and fall and winter, because you've got something to do every season. So take care and enjoy those sports. And here's to cornhole. Who knew?
That's right. Hey, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We enjoyed it.
Thanks, TJ.